Hey everyone, if you've ever wanted to know how to get out of scarcity, where fear and doubt surround and cloud your mind, and into abundance, abundant mentality is where all things are possible, and how I made millions getting from scarcity to abundance, this video is just for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, share this, ding ding, give me that noise, right? Guys, real quick here. Today's video is powerful because by the time you're done watching this video, you're gonna know the specific protocol or the blueprint of how to go from scarcity to abundance. Why that matters to you is real simple. If you live in scarcity, fear and doubt drive everything in your life. Scarcity is a belief system that has you think that if other people succeed, you lose, and it's bad for you. You ever met someone like that? You can tell when you're in scarcity, number one, by the language that you use. Typically, it's not your fault. It's someone else's fault. It's always someone else's fault. Someone else is to blame. You shift responsibility, and you can legitimately justify and explain that away. You can also tell when you are in scarcity because every decision is made out of fear. Fear of loss, fear of looking bad, fear of looking dumb. I used to have this myself. Many times growing up, I was afraid of what other people thought about me. And so that fear and then the self-doubt and the inadequacies, all of those things surrounding my mind and like shifting and shaping the way that I saw the world created a really scary world. And then lo and behold, I discovered this thing called the abundant mentality. What does that mean? Abundance was the function of believing that there's more than enough. There's more than enough money out there. There's more than enough compliments and praise. There's more than enough. In other words, if I light another candle with my candle, it doesn't put my candle out. If you get the promotion or the compliment or someone says, man, great job, I don't get jealous because it takes nothing away from me. And instead of being driven by fear and doubt and a lack, abundant mentality is fueled by faith, by love, by value creation, by helping other people, and believing that, ready, all things are possible. So let's talk about 3 things you can do right now inside of the scarcity abundant protocol so you can exit this world of scarcity and fear and doubt and fear of loss and fear of looking dumb and always afraid of what other people think. And you can get into the abundant mentality where all that matters is really what you think. And if you believe in God, what God feels towards you. All right, let's go. Step number 1, law of awareness. A fish is in water, doesn't really realize it's in water. It just is what it is. It's like us human beings. We breathe oxygen every day. We don't have to think about it. But if you're not present and conscious and aware that you're in scarcity, then you can't change it. Law of awareness says you cannot change anything until you are fully and completely aware. Have you ever went a day or a week and you weren't aware of something you were doing and all of a sudden someone says, you're doing that. And you're like, oh my gosh. I have a friend. He does a lot of public speaking and he says, and he'll say, like 10 times every 3 or 4 minutes. Now he doesn't recognize this, but I do. And when I helped him understand, hey, you say this, and I showed him, he's like, I can change. So that's the first thing. You got to understand that there is something called scarcity. 2012, I was just finished my 2nd year of knocking doors as a door-to-door salesman. Knock, knock, knock. Knocked in Austin, Texas, Killeen, Coppers Cove, that whole area, Round Rock. It was incredible. I had a significant amount of money in my bank account. It's called the back end. You do sales and then they pay you bigger money right when all the deals are funded. So got this money sitting in my bank account and I am living in fear, total scarcity. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it again. I'm afraid like someone's going to take advantage of it. And my mentor was like, you got to get out of scarcity. I was aware. So that's the first thing. Like number 2 is check your language. One way that you can tell if you're living in scarcity is that it's always someone else's fault and you have victim mentality language. It's your dad's fault. It's your mom's fault. It's the color of your skin's fault. It's the neighborhood you grew up in's fault. It's the church's fault. It's the universe's fault. It's the president of the United States' fault. It's social media. It's like, here's the reality. Ready? It's not their fault, but your language will tell you where you're really at. So the way to get out of scarcity and into abundance is, well, number 2, Jocko Willink wrote a book called Extreme Ownership. Take extreme ownership, radical honesty and radical ownership, which means what? It's on you. Like, you got to know that it's on you. That's the story of the two brothers, right? Two brothers grew up in the same home, grew up with the same dad, grew up hearing the same things, seeing the exact same things, experiencing the exact same things, except experiencing a completely different world. One brother says, the reason why I am broke and poor and addicted to drugs and I have no family and I'm living in a cardboard box down by the river is because my father was an alcoholic. On the other side, this brother says, the reason I'm an executive and fit and in love with my family and my spouse and my wife and my children and I love my life and I've got a legacy is because my father was an alcoholic. Two people, same experience, seeing and hearing the same thing, but seeing and hearing completely different. One took responsibility, the other stayed in scarcity. So check your language. If you say things like, oh, that's not possible, or someone presents an opportunity and the first place you go to is, oh, there's no way. There's no way. You might be in scarcity. Fear and doubt are driving the game. Third way to exit the scarcity mentality is to tell the truth about what you really want for your life. Now, this is a challenging one because if you're in scarcity, it's like you have a lens that's covering your eyes, right? You're seeing the world through the scarcity lens. And sometimes someone will say, well, what do you want? And instead of answering as a child who is full of belief, the child has not been beat up by life yet. So I love when Jesus said, be ye therefore like a child, childlike. Children are believing, like they haven't been beat up by life. They haven't had a ton of failures. So they're just like, oh, well, my parents said it's what it is. I believe them. So, if you think about this, if you have scarcity, sometimes you won't say the truth of what you want. You'll play it safe. You just answer the safe. And I'm telling you right now, if you could have the greatest life, whatever you want, lifestyle, time, freedom. And again, I'm not, some people get on here and they're like, I want $10 billion. I'm like, you don't even have $100 in your bank account. Stop being silly. Like, just realistically, optimistically, maybe even really far out of reach, but something that would be like, man, if I could have that. Principle 4 of the 13 principles says clarity is power. Being clear about what you want, it gives you power and direction. So number 3 is just to get clear. Like, what do you want? Get really clear. Like, what do you want? And if you can create this vision, I love what the Old Testament says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Which means if you've got vision and something big, mission and purpose, it forces you out of scarcity into the abundant mentality, which says this: all things are possible. What would it take? Who would I have to be? I'm doing a bodybuilding competition right now. Yep, still doing one. What would it take? I got to eat clean. Got to pack food 6 meals a day. Who would I have to be? Disciplined, committed, strict, determined, persistent. Who would I have to be? A man who keeps his word, a man who's willing to not eat the junk food, even if I travel, even if I'm on a plane or on a road trip, a man who does what he says he's going to do. Do you believe all things are possible? And if you don't, you're in scarcity, because things truly are. And it's such a shift in your mentality. When I got out of scarcity back into abundance, I made millions. We've done well with our organizations. We've helped men and women and young adults and collegiate athletes and high school kids from all walks of life to break scarcity into abundance. And abundant mentality just says it's all possible. So there's 3 things that have helped me to do that, right? Those are the 3. Now there's 3 very specific tactical steps. Number 1, find the mentors and the people that you want to be like and get into their circles. This is how I did it. I joined mastermind upon mastermind upon mastermind. I joined groups where I paid coaches $15,000, $5,000, $25,000, $50,000, crazy amounts. Why? Because in those circles, their normal behavior was my desired behavior. In other words, it was a level up. So you join people, if you want to be more fit, get around fit people. Their baseline of living is like your desire. It's normal. And when you join those groups and masterminds and those communities, it makes a big difference. Number 2, invest in the mentors and coaches. There's something powerful about a mentor and a coach. Now, I know I had a gal come through Shield Maiden, and I was the first personal development program she'd ever been to. A sweetheart of a lady. And she goes, I just always thought I had church too. I go to church. I'm part of an amazing church. Religion's awesome. And I also know that investing in yourself through a mentor and or a coach, like where you actually pay. I've got mentors that I don't pay, people that I have great conversations with, but there are coaches that I physically give my credit card or a check or cash to, That makes a difference. So what would your life look like if you could join these circles and these masterminds, these communities, have multiple or one or, a plethora of coaches, how about that word? All of a sudden, your mindset begins to change and you start to see how they live and how they talk and how they spend and save and invest and how they earn and how they move. Opens you up to new possibilities. Someone who grows up inside of the projects, they're very limited in what they see. And all of a sudden they might meet someone and like it just pierces through the darkness. And they're like, oh my gosh, I could do that? I can have that? 100%. Yeah. So join the masterminds, invest in the coach. And then number 3, continue to take in new information and apply the information. People who live very different lives, they are operating off of a different operating, AKA belief system. Better information, better revelation. Better information revelation, greater access to implementation, which produces transformation. So if this is helpful, I invite you to join our community. I do a live class every single month. Join our community. It's called Game Changer X. Details are in the link in the description. And I'd love to see you in there. If this has been helpful, share it, send it to like 3 people. Like tag me, repost on social media, leave me a comment. I appreciate you watching. Until next time, I'm out.
Let's go. See, it's more than the game that we changing. We don't do it for the block, do it for the name. Yeah. No, there ain't no stopping it. If you really want it, better rock with it. This is how to be a game changer.